Welcome back to the Tony Styles Show, where liberty is always capitalized. Lots of great editorials on TonyStyles.com. You can also sign up for my email newsletter on TonyStyles.com. Unlike other email newsletters, this one is not annoying and is something worth reading. By signing up, you're also eligible for a free Tony Styles t-shirt. These shirts are also for sale on TonyStyles.com. Everything you need to understand about just how screwed we really are is right there on TonyStyles.com. Later on in the show, we'll have our solution segment. As always, the solution segment is brought to you by Contemporary Analysis. You can call some company to give you some garbage contact list, and you could call Contemporary Analysis. That's what I do. If you get a garbage list, you may close 2 or 3% of the deals that you want to. When you call Contemporary Analysis, this is true. This has been proven. You can ask them about that. You will close 60 to 80%. So don't waste your time. Check out Contemporary Analysis at canworksmart.com. I've used them in my own business, and they will be a game changer for you. Before we came back from break, we were talking to Wayne Allen Root, and he had a lot of things to say about how a third party cannot win an election. I wanted to let you know that on TonyStyles.com, our own neurotoxin has written kind of an interesting summary of how this may or may not be true. You can go to TonyStyles.com and check that out. As always, the editorials, they go right along with the show, and they're always fantastic. So check that out, TonyStyles.com. Check out the editorials on there. They always go along with the show. This one in particular is very close to me because I think we do need to have a third party be an actual race. To make an actual race for any office, there needs to be at least 3 parties. We need to stop this left and right nonsense. We're going to be talking about STDs and how America can solve the issue. And we're going to be going through that solution segment. Hopefully we'll get Adam Carolla to talk with us about that. That'd be kind of fun. He's coming up here in a few minutes. I'm going to talk a little bit about STDs now. I've never had one. I never had a whole lot of experience in it. I think a couple guys on my staff have. But we won't get into that. There is a time and a place for that kind of thing, and we won't get into it right now. I've heard some stories, and there's been some penicillin floating around, so we'll just leave it at that. But most of us don't have them. There's a lot of people that do. There's if you go online, there's a lot of statistics that I could rattle off for you, but I'll let you go ahead and look those up yourself. The bottom line is, when it all boils down, STDs are costing us over $14 billion a year. That's what it's costing our healthcare system, and that's what it's going to cost inside Obamacare, if not more. Now, what can we do about this? There's a lot of people that say that, abstinence, that's the answer. Just don't have sex. Well, that's not going to happen. People aren't just going to stop having sex. Sex is good. People aren't going to stop doing it. Also, people say, well, use a condom. Well, condoms aren't all that effective. They've been proven to not have a success rate that's very good. It's like, 99% or 97%, somewhere in that range, depending on the condom. And if you use different types of condoms other than latex, it's even worse than that. So, what to do? What to do? My suggestion to you, be monogamous. I know that kind of sucks. But if you're monogamous with somebody that doesn't have one, you never have to worry about it. So you can have your cake and eat it too, so to speak. STDs aren't just reaching high schools now, they're reaching into junior high schools, and now there's been some reported in grade schools through sexual transaction, not through birth, through actual sexual transaction in grade school. We're talking about young people that are in 4th, 5th grade. That's pretty scary. We're not going to stop them from doing this, and they keep on getting younger. So, what to do? And that's what the solution segment's going to be all about. We're going to talk to Adam Carolla about that if he's willing to cooperate. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he will enjoy that. So that's what we're going to do later on. We're going to be joined by Adam Carolla here in a second. Is he on the phone now? Let's go ahead and talk to him. We're joined now by comedian and fellow car guy Adam Carolla. Adam is the host of the popular Adam Carolla Show, which is now the Guinness World Record holder for the most downloaded podcast. Is that right?
That it is.
That's you. Now. Yeah, you've done pretty much everything, including the smash hit film Division III Football's Finest. And
Yes, I have.
Yes, you have. And you've done the legendary Man Show and Love Line with my favorite media whore, Dr. Drew. Adam Carolla, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, so tell me, I watched Division 3. Do I talk to Andy Dick about an apology for that?
Well, most low-budget sports films aren't what you call great cinema. But, I guess if you got high enough and squinted a little bit, you could find a few laughs in there.
Oh, yeah, it was decent. It was a good time. So the Guinness World Records, how does that go about? Do you apply for that, or is that just something that happened, or how does that work? Because that really amazed me. That came out a while back, and I was just astonished.
Well, it's both. You have to feel like you can beat the record, whatever the record is, and then you have to contact them, and then you have to say to them, I think I can beat that record. I mean, it's no different than thinking you can. It's funny because with podcasts, everyone is kind of like, so what'd you do? Just go ahead and ask them to give me that record, or how'd that work? And no, it doesn't work that. I mean, it wouldn't work that way with how many cigarettes you could hold in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? You'd have to think that you could beat the current record, which is 89. And then you'd have to get a guy out from Guinness to certify it. And then you would have the record or not. So it's the same thing with podcasts.
So who was the previous record holder?
It was Ricky Gervais.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah. Did he get any flack from him about that?
I don't think I've ever spoken to Ricky Gervais.
Really?
In my entire life. No.
I waved at him once, and he didn't wave back.
Well, believe it or not, you two are closer than we are, just from that one incident.
All right.
Involving your unrequited ways.
All right. I like it. So you have a lot of libertarian-leaning views, and on the Tony Styles Show, I don't like the labels. I don't like the label Republican or Democrat or Libertarian. We're kind of free of labels, but if we do lean one way, it's definitely towards the libertarian mindset. And you've said a lot of things. One of my I remember watching a specific show. I can't recall it right now, and I probably should have pulled it up on my desktop before we got on here. But I remember you saying that a lot of the libertarian beliefs are what you believe. Can you elaborate?
True.
Yeah. Can you elaborate on that at all?
Well, I'm just for smaller government and a little more freedom and a little less, control. How
do you like the idea of no government?
Well, for me, I'm ready to just scale it back, and I'll tell you when we should stop. In terms of the government. I'm not nuts. Given a choice between zero government and where we're going now, I'll take zero government. I'm one of these guys. Honestly, I haven't put it out well enough to go, no government, privatize everything all the time. But I'm sure we'd be in a better place. I'm all right with a limited government role. I think, I live in California and in Los Angeles. I just say it just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Oh yeah, out there it keeps on doing it. And I'm in Chicago. We're feeling the same thing out here. It's never ending. We're talking to Adam Carolla, by the way. Keep on going, Adam. I'm listening to you.
I was going to say, why wouldn't it? I mean that's what I would say. If you took beavers and you put them on top of the Chrysler building, they would start looking for wood to build a dam.
That's correct.
And the answer is, well, why? You're on top of the Chrysler building. Because that's what beavers do. They build dams. And politicians seek more power, grow government, grow legislation, and that's just what they do. It's not, what did we think was going to happen?
Yeah, I'm with you. And there's a lot of people, I heard this a couple times. We've been shooting for small government for a while. It's been in the works. We've tried to do it straight from the beginning. We've wanted small government. And we've shot for that, and we've failed, and we've gotten big government. Do you think it's fair to say that if we shoot for no government, maybe we'll get small government? It is one of those things. Maybe you're right. I mean, maybe it's like buying a used RV or something. We should start haggling, and instead of giving them the price we actually want to pay, we'll knock $5,000 off that, go lower, and meet somewhere in the middle.
when Obama said he was going to fundamentally change this country, I don't think that meant smaller government. I'm sitting behind a car that says Obama 2012 right now, by the way.
I thought all those were gone after Cash for Clunkers.
Every other. Oh, no, we got a lot of Priuses around here. Either way, I guess he's staying true to his word. He's trying to fundamentally change his country. I don't mind a few nips and tucks, but I don't want to fundamentally change his country. We have the best country in the world. Why are we fundamentally changing, or even attempting to fundamentally change?
And that's one of my big problems, too. We're talking to Adam Carolla on the Tony Styles Show. That's one of my big problems, is we keep on trying to change the equation for something that was working, and every time we change it, it seems to work less and less. So why continue on the same course? It just doesn't seem to make sense to me at all. And it sounds like you're on the same boat.
Yeah, well, first off, you get, you're white and you have a penis and testicles, so of course it's working for you, but sure. What about everyone else, So that's the number one BS answer you would get. Look, our school system is a mess, our prison system is a mess, and we probably spend more money than any state in the union. So throwing money at a problem doesn't fix the problem.
No,
if you have
go ahead.
If you have a stepson that's a junkie, so you just keep giving him money.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you just knock it off because it's not helping. It's the leaking boat, or
right.
trying to unload a bucket using what that you're standing in. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you. I understand what you're saying. And I'm very much the same way. So you're right on line with the ideology here at the Tony Styles Show, and I know that a lot of people, they were excited when I said you're going to come on. They're like, Adam Carolla, that's pretty cool. And then there are some of them, and a lot of them, they said, Adam Carolla, F that guy, he doesn't know what real liberty means. And I was like, geez, that's kind of harsh.
Listen, I'm not a guy who's going to get the musket and get up on the roof when the tax man shows around. I don't even really know what it means. All I know is shrink the government, lower the taxes. I'm paying way more than my fair share. Let's stop with all the regulations.
Yeah, the fair share stuff, that's nonsense. Go ahead.
That's
I'm with
nonsense. You want an educated populace that's not in prison and doing well. Parents stay together, families remain intact, focus on education. It's pretty boring stuff. It's basically, I'm the guy who's saying, look, you want to lose a couple of pounds? Diet and exercise. And people are saying, well, I want to talk about a special pill, and I want to talk about a special diet, and all I'm saying is just shrink your portions a little, take it easy on dessert, and take a nice walk after dinner. You'll see those pounds start to come off. And everyone's, whoa, what about his metabolism? What about her metabolism? We all have a different metabolism. I understand diet and exercise.
Sure, yeah. Some people just have to work a little harder than others.
That's right.
And
Look,
it sounds unfair, but it's the truth.
Yeah, and it's education and family. You want to get yourself out of poverty? You want to have a great society? You want to join our society and get the most out of this country? Well, education and family. That's it. Diet and exercise.
Diet and exercise. We're talking to Adam Carolla on the Tony Styles Show. I'm going to take a break here in a couple minutes, and I wanted to bring you in. We have a solution segment that we do, and this week we're going to talk about STDs. I was wondering if you could weigh in on that a little bit after we come back from break.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to solve the problem of how do we solve this problem? Pretty much is the whole solution. The solution to STDs. I know we'll get nowhere close, but maybe somebody out there will listen. You have a different take on it than most people, and I have some statistics that I'll roll by you. But let's go to break, and we're going to come back with Adam Carolla. You're listening to the Tony Styles Show. A solution segment is coming up next. Stick around.